Hello. Just waiting again, as I always do, for it to fully tell me that we are live and everything is working. Typically, oh, there we go. Welcome to the Morning Mandala. I am Nikki Featherstone. I'm a registered Canadian art therapist. Right now, I am on Treaty 6 land, and outside of Edmonton, outside of Camrose, I live in the country. Um, Wonderfully grateful to the wisdom keepers of this land who, have been here forever and teach us how to be in relationship with this land. Um, yeah, there's so much. Being it's Indigenous History Month and it's Pride Month, and there's so much going on in the world. It's something that I wanted to bring in to just, you know, um, there's lots of ways to fully lean into ways that we can come into reconciliation. Land acknowledgements are certainly one of them. And I encourage you to look into what they say and what has been written, but I also really encourage you to sit with that and say something from your heart. And that's what I say from my heart, is that I'm so grateful for all of the wisdom keepers that have been here for so long, and so that they teach us such lessons, that are good for the soul and good for the mind, the body, heart, everything. Um, so yeah, I'm very grateful to be here today in this space. I'm doing the morning mandala for those who are new. This is our second last one. I have one more Thursday in June, and then we'll be complete for this series. I'm working with the Canadian Mental Health Association to run a program called Finding Wellness Through Art, and this is part of that. So this moment in time is just a place to come and use art in a way that can be mindful, can bring us into the present moment, kind of allow your thoughts to let go of any of the tasks and the things about the future or the past that have been ruminating, and just kind of be in the moment now. And it doesn't mean that your mind is blank. Like, some meditation practices are absolutely trying to still the mind to see what else comes. This can do that when you're doing a mandala for mindfulness, but it's not always the focus or the intention. Sometimes you're just trying to let go of the rat race, the mental wheel that's happening in your mind, so that you can just see what's here and be present with what's here. Maybe there's anxiety or sorrow here, and distraction techniques are great in when used properly, but they can also become negative, to our ability to move through things if we're always distracting ourselves from them, if we don't actually give ourselves a moment to actually just sit with it. So there is a lot in the world right now. We've seen and witnessed a lot of things that are really sorrowful. They're very full of grief. And, and then we have personal lives, and we have COVID and all the losses that we've all gone through in the last 15 months. And there's a lot going on. So I encourage you and invite you today to just let go of all the, tasks, the task orientations, or maybe anything that you feel is not present in the moment, and just be curious about what is here with you right now. And maybe that's joy. Maybe it's incredible successes and beautiful things that are happening for you right now. And that is also just as valid. Um, we just curious, being in, kind of leaning into wonder. And that's what I encourage for today. Just kind of be curious to see what comes up for you while you're making marks and patterns, and see what happens. Um, that is the essence of using art therapeutically, is to really try to move that cognition out of the way, that thinking brain, and be like, okay, you're not in control of everything as much as you'd like to be. We have this depth to humanity that is super unconscious, and there's so much wisdom in the unconscious. There's lots and lots of things in there that are waiting for us to notice them, waiting for their turn to come up and be with us. And that can be this practice, as well as just breathing and taking the pause from the day-to-day stress. Okay, so I've given you lots of things to kind of come into the practice today with. I recommend tea. I recommend when you have time to create space. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you only have like a second or a minute to do, a mindfulness moment, and that's great. Use what you've got. But if you do have time to carve out just a bit of time for yourself for this practice, nurture yourself. Find the drink that makes you feel good. Set music, set scent. Use your senses to support your wellness in this moment. And it doesn't have to be super complicated. Maybe you have an essential oil that you find really grounding, or an incense you want to burn. Maybe it's sight, maybe it's a space in your home that feels really soft and caring for you. Maybe it's sitting on something soft, or a favorite pillow. For me, it's drinking tea. Very much so. Is a piece of like the scent of the tea, as well as the taste and the feel of the warm mug. All of that feels very nurturing to me. So use your space the best you can to give yourself that like full holistic nurturing experience. Okay, let's make some art. I'm going to put some music on. I'll tilt my screen down so you can see what I'm doing. You're welcome to use any kind of art materials and do it however you'd like in the space that you're in. You're also welcome just to watch. That is absolutely fine, and some people find it really soothing to the nervous system. Yeah, so we'll see you on the other side. Okay, so about there. Hello. On the other side. Just to the side. Okay, so it's always the mirror effect. So this is my mandala today. I'm finding it it's hard to tell because it's a video, but it's all metallic. All those colors are metallic, so they shine in the light, which I really enjoy. I'm enjoying the reflective piece of the metallic colors, how vibrant they are. I also find that this is a very delicate piece. It feels very soft, and there's a place of delicacy, and I don't know if I've said this in the mandala before, but I've talked about it before, that something that I was told in my training as an art therapist once was delicate doesn't mean fragile. And so I can be delicate and be sensitive, be soft and feel things, but that doesn't mean that I'm fragile. It doesn't mean that I will break just because I'm delicate. That we have this, misconception that if you're delicate and you're sensitive and you feel things, that you will be damaged and you have to armor, and in truth, it actually grows you and strengthens you and steals you. The stealing of the self comes from actually moving into emotion and feelings and working through things versus distracting and avoiding things. Distraction is a great tool for when we aren't in a moment where we can, say, process or feel our feelings, but it's not to be used for indefinitely. It's to be used until we can, temporarily, until we can find a space where we can move into those feelings and allow them space. So yeah, I love the idea of being delicate but not fragile. I feel very deeply as a human being, and sometimes that's really difficult. Sometimes it's really, really hard to feel all of the energy around me, all the emotions of other people, of the pain and the sorrows of the world, with so much that we see and experience ourselves. But I'm also really grateful because it has beauty to it. It's deepening of myself. I have deepened as a human and found wisdom in those depths, as we talked about, because of being able to feel and feel with other people, feel my own feelings. We become richer and wealthier in all the right ways. So yeah, that's what this mandala is telling me today. Just that leaning into that delicacy, that I'm allowed to be delicate without fear, and that I can be washed over with emotion and know that it's like a wave. It'll move out and move back in, and that I'll be hollowed in a good way, that I'll be deepening who I am and what I know, and how to be in relationship, back to the beginning of the wisdom keepers of this land, teaching us how to be in relationship with each other, and that we are indeed in relationship with all people and all non-human people. Okay, so I would love to see any of your art. If you'd like to send it in, you can put it, images of course, on the event, but you are welcome to send me a private message if you'd like to show me there reflections or insights of how the experience was for you. I'm very welcoming of all of that. And yeah, you don't have to wait till the morning mandala to do this. You are more than welcome to do this on your own space and schedule, and as many times as you wish. The video will be available for you to watch as many times as you want, and then I also put a sped up version with other music on my Instagram for those who like a shortened, quicker view. I say a lot. It's one of my idiosyncrasies and speech patterns. There it is. I wish you all, it's a bit blustery here today, so I wish you all some warmth today, some grounding into your depths into the deepening of who you are, and finding space that it's okay. It's okay to feel your feelings and take these present moments and see what's there. All of the spectrum is the same terrain: love, joy, sorrow. Yeah. So one more next week. Next Thursday will be our last of this series. So if you're having a good experience with it, I'd love to know. But I will see you next week, and have a lot of pauses. All right. See you next week.